Okay.
Sorry if we seem a little bit disorganised, but I rather packed the programme, I'm afraid, so that I've not really allowed much time, so I think you're all going to be as dead on your feet tomorrow as I am, so you know how I feel. Talk is going to be Brian Daly from Disney Art Editions. He's responsible for the marketing and sales of animation art for the Walt Disney Company in the whole of Europe. Very experienced guy, Brian. And I would like to say thank you to him for coming along.
Basically, I'm responsible for the marketing and sales of the animation art of the Walt Disney Studios, which is certainly a very special product line and something that I'm personally very proud of, and I think that all of us with the company are as well. And what I think the best way for us to understand what the animation art of the studio is to discuss how we make films, basically. Basically, what happens in the case of any film, whether it be live action or an animated feature film, is that you have a story to start with. Animated films are not just pictures moving across the screen. You don't come out of the cinema and say, gee, I saw a bunch of pretty pictures pass across the screen for an hour. No, you walk out and you say, you know, I know Simba. I know who Scar was. I know who Aladdin was. I know these people. And that's because of the story that is involved in the animated films. And we particularly always start with the very strongest stories, and I think that's probably why our films are so memorable. And the reason we do that is because Walt Disney himself was a storyteller. That was what he loved to do most, and that's how really all of this got started. I think at this point, let's take a look at a video which will take us to the studio and show us how the artists are at work in creating these pieces of art. And then we'll come back and talk about some more, okay?
Take a behind-the-scenes tour of how Disney Art Editions recreates 3 types of limited edition art based on original drawings from the Animation Research Library. One type of edition is referred to as a hand-inked edition, where the outlines of the characters for each cell are inked completely by hand and then hand-painted. Another type is referred to as a xerographic line edition, where the outlines of the characters are transferred to each cell by Disney's xerographic camera and then hand-painted. The third type of edition is a sericel, in which the ink lines and paint are put on the cell through a special printing process. For Snow White, Disney Art Editions has recreated all 3 types of limited edition artwork.
I want to show you some of the pieces that will be coming up over the next couple of months. And in the UK we have 2 different major venues from which we sell animation art, and those are the Disney stores. I know that we've got Charlotte here from the Croydon store, and they've got a wonderful selection of art. And likewise, we also have preferred galleries. We have Cato Animation in Hampstead, which has been working with us for a few years now. We have the Phoenix Gallery at Selfridges. And I'm very happy to report we have the Animation Art Gallery, which will be joining us in September on Great Castle Street. You want to put your hands up? In fact, there's Russell and Graham from the Animation Art Gallery. So we're very pleased to have them on. Let's take a look at the first image. And this is from Pocahontas. This is called Just Around the River Bend, which is a xerographic line animated piece of art. And it's actually sold out. It was, unfortunately, every piece was bought in the United States upon the release of the film on June 23rd, so we don't have any more of those. So it's already quite a collector's item. And this has been happening a lot recently with our new films. The day that they're released, the piece goes, because they're so highly collectible.
Can't they just put sort of a set number aside for different countries? So
Yeah.
It seems really unfair that the States get everything.
Yeah, it does. Now here's an example of a drawing which we're recreating. This is what we call a process sericel. This is called Wash Your Hands. And what we've done in effect really is recreated the rough animation drawing, the cleaned up drawing, and then the cell of Adobe. So for a collector who wants to have a drawing, I think this is a wonderful piece. Now, I'm very excited about the next pieces because these, many of you have heard about our legendary animators. There was a group of men called the Nine Old Men who were some of the original animators at the studio. 4 of the 9 old men are still with us, and we have recreated pieces from some of their most famous characters, and they have signed them. So these are all hand-painted, limited edition pieces, and about this, and thank you for having me.
Nice to see so many of you here. I'm usually talking in a village hall in Tunbridge to about 7 people, so this is a bit big for me. As John said, I work for BBC Radio. People say, how many people work for the BBC? And you say about half of them. It usually gets a bit of a laugh, but it's quite true.
The excerpt I'm going to show you is on 16mm. It's from a sound film, but it's the sort of thing you could collect in the 30s on 16mm. It's a little bit from Mickey Mouse. Now, they changed the titles. It's called, on this film, Mickey to the Rescue. Is Richard Hollis here?
I am indeed,
Richard.
yes.
It's called something else.
Yes, it's called Mickey's Gorilla Mystery,
Oh,
and it's 1930, yeah.
But Richard, he's not too interested in the film, but he says the actual title, which comes up in Mickey Mouse, that's quite a rarity, is that right?
Yes, the title card's very nice.
So we had that, right? The 16 minutes. Mickey Mouse, 1930. When we do get into focus, the quality was very good, reduced from 35mm to this, which is it's the first time I've ever seen it, actually. We're going to clear up, Lawrence? I think you can see the quality on film as opposed to video. I mean, you've got a 28-inch television there, but people at the back, I think, not too good an opinion of the interior. Whereas, what do you think of this? Pretty good? You have to say that. The films themselves. Now, there is a dealer up in the Midlands, Duran, who's actually struck up a deal with Walt Disney to issue feature films on 8mm. Now, on video, you pay about £9 in Safeways for the latest Disney. On Laserdisc, how much is the Laserdisc?
Anything could be £40. Could be quite cheap.
Well, if you buy a copy of Aladdin or Beauty and the Beast, it'll set you back just over £300 on 8mm. The shorts, like the old, you get some classic films on these presses. That's
The Old Mill, I don't know if you've seen that, it's a classic film. That was about £30 now to buy. There's Tiger Trouble, which was quite a classic cartoon. Again, that's out of stock now. Can't get that, can you though? That's out of stock. Because it's rare and it's American print, the price will go up. You've spent £30, £40 you can spend for a second-hand print of that. Mickey's Disco, this was brought out. Have you ever seen Mickey's Disco? It was brought out. It's little bits of Disney films which put the disco music. Got time, I'm not going to run on a bit of that. But the Disney purists were up in arms. They kind of banned this. It was not on at all. And so it was withdrawn. But suddenly it's come in favour, and now people will pay £30 for this. And it goes on and on. To make it a bit chill, going back to those 9.5 films that I said, the early 1930s, if you've ever seen boxes like this, give me a ring. Well worth having. No good to you, but great for
Barry will be with us again this afternoon with some more movies from the Disney company. It's time now for a coffee break, as Barry, Charles said rather. Please be back promptly at 11:45 because we have Sean Lloyd, the Disney Costume Character Division, and Brian Burton from the Rank organisation, in a little item called Travels with the Mouse. Okay, so please be back promptly at 11:45. The coffees are back in the reception area, okay, so you have to wander